Okay, item number 3, discussion and possible action for approval of bills and payroll and monthly reports. Let's go ahead and go with our treasurer, mayor, treasurer. There you go. El Flaco, we could call him El Flaco now. Good morning.
Good morning, Honorable Judge and Commissioners. Raul Reyes, County Treasurer for the record, and Commissioner Jaime, Happy New Year, and welcome to your first official meeting.
Who's the prettiest one of all, though?
Of course.
Yes.
Thank you. Beautiful.
I just needed to get that over done with. You can proceed now.
Just for the record, say it again, baby.
Commissioner Tijerina.
Thank you.
Judge and Commissioners, this morning I have 2 items. I have the presentation of bills and disbursements for the period of December 9th, 2022 through January 5th, 2022, and the monthly report for the month of November 2022. The full information was emailed Friday before noon. And here is a recap of the information that was submitted to y'all for consideration and approval. And Commissioner Jaime, just for informational purposes, the information is submitted, it's presented, and until the Commissioner's Court approves and authorizes me to disburse, my office does not disburse any payment until it is approved by the members of this body.
Except for the other.
Except for the ratifications.
No, well.
We did review and certify 591 invoices, for which 343 checks were processed, and that total disbursement amount is $788,582.69. We also have 204 electronic fund transfers ready to be processed for the payment of 708 invoices, and that disbursement amount is $2,252,958.93. As per the general order, checks released prior to today as authorized, we had 125 checks for the payment of 1,505 invoices, and that disbursement amount, Judge and Commissioners, was $252,603.70. And of course, we did process 3 electronic fund transfers for the payment of 10 invoices, and that disbursement amount was $160,398.26. And just for reminder purposes, those are pretty much standard operating expenses, such as the energy assistance vouchers, materials and supplies, trainings, lease contracts, and utilities. And if there's no questions, I'll ask that you please approve the disbursements as presented.
Move to approve.
Second. Any opposed?
Presented.
Motion carries.
Another item that needs approval is the ratification. These are checks that were released early on special conditions and circumstances by my office as requested by certain department heads or elected offices. We had 37 invoices that were paid through 24 checks, and that disbursement amount for this period was $115,420.63. If you'll see in the next slide, you'll see where those requests were pretty much made, right? And that is pretty much it.
Move to ratify those invoices.
Second. I have a motion. I have a second. Any opposed? Oh, your mic's on. Sorry. Motion second. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
And then this is just informational purposes only, the liability disbursements for county payroll for the period of December 2nd, 2022 through December 15th, 2022. The total payroll disbursement liabilities, which is the county contribution, the payroll deductions of the employees, and of course the net wages, That total disbursement for the payment of 2,047 employees within that pay period is $4,503,261.21. Also, for the pay period of December 16th, 2022 through December 29th, 2022, the total disbursement amount for the payment of 2,203 employees was $4,411,520.95. And the last item does require action, and it is the Casablanca Golf Course requirement of funds. The prior day, the Commissioners Court approved a estimation not to exceed $40,000. The actual amount was $37,859.58. For the pay date of December 30th, 2022, as seen on the bottom left, that amount was $31,279.06, and the estimated funds required for the upcoming pay date of January 13th, 2023, is roughly about $40,000 once again.
Move to approve it. Estimated payroll not to exceed $40,000.
Second. Any opposed?
Judge, and I do have a question back.
Yes.
We had 2,203 employees one time and then 2,047. Are those temporary workers?
Those are temporary workers.
Election
and
workers?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. What's your normal
I think
biweekly?
it's roughly about 1,900. That's been the normal.
That's including all grant people and everything?
Yes, sir. And then this morning, for my presentation of the monthly report for the month of November 2022, at the next meeting I'll be presenting December 2022. I went ahead and did something a little bit different for Commissioner Jaime, and this is the actual report that is submitted to the judge and commissioners for your information purposes and to review. Within the Webb County cash investment balance, our total cash at hand at the end of November was $163,588,109.31. Our investment portfolio was $56,840,768.13. The total grant portfolio at the end of November 2022 was $220,428,877.44. In the next slide, what you'll see there is all of the bank reconciliations that my office does. We do 21 bank reconciliations of our main general operating account, as well as accounts for the county clerk, district clerk, and constable precinct 4. We have 13 from the Webb County tax assessor collector's accounts, 1 from the elections office, and then you'll see all of our investment accounts as well listed there.
You know, excuse me real quick.
Yes.
Commissioner Gayla brings up a good question to me. Have we done the school disbursements?
It's normally done within this month and next month. So I'm thinking civil legal will bring that item
I think we're
pretty
doing
soon.
late January and early February.
Because I thought, didn't we used to do them in
The school and disbursement.
like October, November?
The disbursements, since I've been in office, they've always been in January.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Yes. The next slides you'll see there, these are the actual bank reconciliations for the accounts. On the next page, you'll see that the only one that has not been reconciled is the clearing account. And that's because we're still pending some reconciliations due to some differences at the tax office. But those things have been, slowly but surely been taken care of. The next item is our investments earned from all of our bank accounts. This month, for the month of November 2022, the total investment income was $306,535. So year to date, we're already, above $500,000. And then just to inform the members of the court that as of December 1st, 2022, the interest rate earned on all of the cash accounts with Falcon International Bank now will be, instead of a 1.50% interest rate, we will be getting 2.50% interest rate. So you'll see that reflected at the next report. The next slide is, of course, the interest rates of return by financial institutions. You'll see there that, rates have been, going up. The text pool, the multi-bank securities, of course, Falcon International Bank, it's been the same, but next month you'll see an increase. Our Faro Wealth, Texas Class, and of course, Greater Pacific Securities. And
For the commissioner's benefit, will you explain which funds have to go mandatory into certain accounts?
yes, so certain funds include the some of the CDs with respects to the county clerk's office, and we do have. I'll provide a listing because they're quite substantial in terms of what is required. But we try to keep our stance and our investments very liquidity. So we do invest prudently, and we try not to exceed a certain amount of time so that when we need to, we can pull out that money. And as you notice that a lot of the diversification, Commissioner Jaime, and members of the court, occurred when the text pool rates were extremely low. And I'm talking, well underneath, 1.0%. So now that they have been increasing to the 3.6, we're getting better rates in the text pools than we are with our depository. Some of that money is being invested within the text pool accounts.
And it wasn't too long ago that we wouldn't even receive any of these interest rates.
Yeah.
We didn't have any interest-bearing accounts, so it's actually been very nice. Very nice.
And I brought that up just because now that the interest rates have reversed, you said like text pool and multi-bank, they were way below Falcon Bank, but we couldn't transfer those funds because they're
Yeah.
mandatory to go into certain accounts. And so now with the reversal, we do have,
Yeah.
it is better for us.
And that amount, if I'm not mistaken, based on the information that I've provided previously, is roughly about like $10 million that, are earmarked, based investments that we have to have depending on the balances of those accounts. But I'll provide, a full listing for you. In the next slide, what you'll see is our investment, and you'll see here where our book value and market value are pertaining to different classes. The next page is a listing of all of the investments. We have the general fund, the Webb County interest and sinking, the hotel motel occupancy tax fund, and just so many other registry investment pools. And then in the next pages, obviously, they're a little bit, smaller print, but you'll see all of the bonds that we have with Faro Wealth. And of course, the next page with Greater Pacific Securities. The following page, again, multi-bank securities. And that is what we have invested, what our book value is, market value, and the interest that has been earned, and the maturity dates as well. And the reason why I bring this month to month is to not have to come every quarter and do a presentation just on investment. I'd rather y'all have the information in real time. In our next slide, what you'll see there is the total checks issued from the general operating bank account. And for the month of November, we did disburse from general operating expenditures, payroll liabilities, $21,514,268.53. Our next item, which has been good to report in the next slide, has been our sales tax. As of November 2022, The income was $2,057,871. And of course, the sales tax received last fiscal year at this time was $1,678,341. We budgeted for this month in this year's budget $1,791,667. So we are above budget by $266,204. The increase from the previous fiscal year, Judge and Commissioners, is $379,530. And that represents a 22.6134% from the previous fiscal year. The next slide is the bingo tax. Now, we did reach out to some of these, bingo holders, license holders, because they submitted payments late. So we've been researching what other counties are doing in terms of enforcement, whether there's late fees and penalties involved with not only reporting late, but submitting payments, late. So we'll try and finalize that, send it to civil legal, and see if we can, come before the court for some type of guidance for enforcement.
What was your finding? Yes?
Yes. Especially Travis County, they've had issues with that, and of course, the city of Laredo also received, the payments late as well, and they do have late fees that are being assessed for late filing.
Bring those forward to us, and we'll pass it and start getting some fees.
Thank you, Judge. That amount was $9,691 with 73 cents. The next item is the mixed beverage tax. This is what is received from the state comptroller, and then you'll see there at the bottom, in the next slide, at the bottom left, you'll see there when the reports are due by all the mixed beverage license holders here in Webb County, what they report to TABC and the state comptroller. And then, of course, the payment distributions that when we get this money, right? And that amount for November was $62,592 with 9 cents. The next item is the rents received. You'll see there all the rents that the county receives. And that amount for November was $7,530 with 24 cents. The next slide, you'll see all the rents paid. And in the actual report, you'll see a detailed description of not only what the expense is for example, if you just go down the first row, you'll see that's for Constable Precinct 4, De Valley, the Go.LT, and then you see the Barker Ground Services, City of Laredo Real Estate, for the Head Starts, and et cetera, et cetera. The next slide is the certificates of obligations and loans debt services for fiscal year 2022. You'll see what our current outstanding CDs are, if payments have been made, when payments are due, and we don't have anything due until February. So in the report for February 2023, you'll see some expenses classified there. At the next slide, you'll see that a full detail of all of our outstanding debt balances, bonds, and other general long-term thing. I try to make it as precise as possible so that you can get a full detailed explanation. Then the next slide is a continuation of that, and of course you have your monthly totals at the end. What is our principal amount? What is our interest, amount, and of course the total principal and interest for these. The next one are the leases that we have within Webb County. You'll see there, and they'll be marked with check marks once they have been paid. The total leases paid for November 2022 were $1,104,162 with 93 cents. The reason why it varies is because some of these payments are a one-time payment. So that is the reasoning behind it. As being inquired, the next slide is related to the permanent school fund for the month of November 2022. In royalties, we did receive $1,008,171.40. And that was the total amount that was received because no damages were reported and we did not have any hunting and grazing lease payments. The total permanent available school fund balance at the end of November 2022, Commissioner Galo, is $4,188,158.89. You'll see in the next slide, what we've been receiving, throughout this fiscal year, October, November, and what our balance is there.
And I don't remember what the agreement was. We leave 100,000 in the account or something? Nathan, do you remember? On the
Do you remember
school
what
board? On the school lands distribution, we leave 100,000? Did we distribute everything but 100? I don't
Yeah.
remember, that's why I was asking. And is it as of September, or is it?
As of November, it's already at
No, but when,
4 million.
are we distributing funds as of January 1st or as of September? I don't remember how we did it.
It depends upon when the school districts submit the information for the enrollment and all of that. There's a calculation.
No, I understand that for the daily attendance.
We submit in January and then we react to it at that point. But they're usually the ones that calculate.
But I'm saying we're supposed to be distributing last year's funds, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So are we cutting it off in September? Or are we just including everything up to that point of
You'd have
distribution?
to ask the auditor about that. I don't know when they cut it off. I think they do it by fiscal year.
Yeah, I think they do it by fiscal year of the school calendar, but I'll get that
But I'm
information
saying,
to
they
you.
have basically the same calendar we do. I mean, they go,
Do you know,
what did they go,
what is
August to
the-
May?
The cutoff time?
September through August.
September through August.
Fiscal year.
Or we might want to, well, I guess.
And I think one of the reasons, if recollection serves me well, I think one of the reasons why it's taking long is because of all of the state, mandated changes in terms of the distribution, in terms of the enrollment and.
Yeah, we wait for their daily
yeah.
attendance.
Yeah.
They tell us so they can spread it out proportionally between the schools.
And then in the next slide, you'll see the historical data from going back all the way to 2006 in terms of what amount has been paid out to UISD, LISD, and of course, Webb County ISD. And again, if you see here, the past 2 years, it's been maybe early January of the year, or last year we did so towards the end of February 2022. And then Commissioner Jaime, the Treasurer's Office, does manage the Tex-Mex parking lot. The tickets closed were 754 of them. The tickets below the hour were 268, so therefore only 491, tickets were paid. That total revenue was $2,968.00. We do lease 5 spaces to the federal courthouse, and that revenue is $500 every month. So the total revenues, and I do apologize, this should be November, is $3,468.00. We do also provide coupon vouchers for jury duty. So therefore, we don't collect on that money, but I, do make it a point to report to you how much, we would have received if we charged. There were 32 validated tickets, and that total amount was $218.
Only 15 years more to go, baby.
And it's getting there, Judge. It's getting there.
To put a second floor, he says.
And other than that, that is all I have this morning, Judge and Commissioners, unless anybody has any questions.
Happy New Year, my friend, and congratulations on your
Absolutely.
new next
Thank you.
4 years, and looking
Thank
forward
you.
to working with you. God
Thank
bless
you, and thank you for the honor of.
Motion to accept
conducting-
report.
Yes.
Second.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Very good. Next, we have